They say love is the greatest force in the universe. But what if it wasn't love? What if it was only attachment, a mirror of your own longing, dressed up as something noble? Let's begin with an uncomfortable truth. Most people were never in love. They were in need. They were in fear. They were in fantasy, but not in love. And as Stoics, we are trained to seek clarity, not comfort, to pierce illusion, not to wrap ourselves in it. So, how do we know? 1. You were possessive, not devoted. Love liberates, it does not imprison. Yet many cling, control, and covet, mistaking chains for closeness. Seneca once said, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." If you feared losing them more than you valued their freedom, if your affection came with conditions, you weren't in love. You were trying to own what was never yours. 2. You loved the idea, not the reality. We often fall for a fantasy, a curated version of a person, not the human being behind the mask. Love demands presence. It is not built on illusions. As Epictetus taught, what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about these things. If you loved what you imagined more than what is, you were never truly present. And without presence, love cannot live. 3. You lost yourself in the process. True love strengthens character. It does not erode it. Yet many abandon their values, their purpose, their discipline in pursuit of approval. But a Stoic never kneels before emotion. If you became weaker, more chaotic, less yourself in the name of love, you were intoxicated, not enlightened. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And if your thoughts were anxious, desperate, or dependent, you were not in love. You were drowning in yourself. 4. You feared solitude more than you valued truth. Many chase relationships not for connection, but to escape their own emptiness. They call it love, but it's avoidance. If you couldn't be alone with yourself, you were seeking a distraction, not a partner. And in doing so, you disrespected both of you. A Stoic stands alone not because he wants to, but because he can. Because virtue never depends on company. 5. You wanted healing, not harmony. Some enter relationships hoping to be fixed, as if love were a medicine. But no one can save you from yourself. And love is not therapy. If you needed them to patch your wounds, then your desire was rooted in pain, not affection. Zeno taught that true happiness is a good flow of life, and good flow begins when we stop bleeding on others. Love is not a balm. It is the space in which two whole people walk side by side. 6. You loved with expectation, not intention. Expectations poison connection. They turn love into a transaction. I give you this, so you owe me that. But Stoics practice intention without attachment to outcome. We do what is right because it is right, not because it pays. If your affection turned sour when not reciprocated, then it wasn't love. It was a bargain, and bargains break. Virtue does not. 7. You couldn't let go. The final test. Love, real love, is not destroyed by endings. It transforms, it accepts, it releases. But if the end made you bitter, vengeful, broken, you were clinging, not loving. As the Stoics remind us, everything is borrowed, everything returns. A person, like a moment, is not yours to keep. To love is to honor the impermanence, not to rage against it. So tell me, was it love? Or was it a lesson dressed in longing? We are not here to shame ourselves. We are here to wake up, to rise above the noise of desire, to take control of the one thing that is always within our grasp, ourselves. The Stoic path is not cold. It is clear. It does not reject love. It purifies it, until all that remains is what cannot be shaken: discipline, integrity, peace. And through that fire we do not burn, we become unbreakable. So if any of this made you pause, good. That pause is where transformation begins. You weren't in love, but now you're in truth. And from here, everything changes. Subscribe to Stoic Zeus, not for comfort, but for the kind of truth that hurts first, then heals forever. Because here, we don't escape pain, we outgrow it. Stay disciplined, stay detached, and remember, the fire doesn't consume us, it forges us.